Hi everybody, Sherry here. Welcome back to my channel, Sherry Jones Designs. In today's video, we're going to make a really fun little summer tunic. It's just really fun to wear, and I think makes a great swimsuit cover-up, a great picnics and barbecues and things like that. So the first thing I did was cut off the bottom of a t-shirt, about 8 inches of it or so, and then I cut the sleeves off. And even though it looks like I'm going fast here, I did take my time. The t-shirt I'm using is polyester, but it's very, very stretchy, and I actually had no trouble sewing it, and I didn't even use my walking foot. So I think you're gonna, if you want to make this, I think this is something that you should be able to do with almost any t-shirt. And then I cut the collar off. And I also lowered the back of the collar because I just want it to be real open and real airy. So then I just followed the direction, you know, I just copied the front of the collar to give me the right curve for the back of the collar. And then I turned everything under 1/4 of an inch except for the very bottom. And you actually wouldn't even have to do this. Like, to make this fun tunic, t-shirts don't ravel or unravel. And it's sort of just a wild and free design. It's not, you know, it's meant to be ravelly and just fun. So, like I said, to make a perfect swimsuit cover-up. You could make this in different lengths. Like, you could just not cut the t-shirt off and add the length to the bottom and have a full swimsuit cover up. So that's lots of different options. Another thing you could do is add more of the pieces to the bottom than I did. Like, you could do different heights of the pieces. You could add different, like all different colors and stuff. I use just 4 basic colors. So now that I have everything hemmed under, now I'm going to do the bottom, and my strips that I'm going to use are going to be cotton because we're going to tear them. You can do poly cotton mixes, but it has to be something cotton in order to tear it. Like, you're not going to be ripping knit. And you could do knit if you wanted to. Like, I thought about doing knit, but you're going to have to cut them. You're not going to be able to tear them. But I thought about doing knit and then tying them at the ends to have little knots all the way around. Be kind of fun. So here I'm using a variety of upcycled and then 1 piece of new. And this one here is actually the lining of a skirt that I used in an upcycle. I had this brown lining. And to choose your colors, just look what's on your shirt, the design on your shirt. That's how I chose my colors. And then I picked from the colors in the design. And then the other color I found that I liked was this real pretty sort of burnt orange umber color. And it's the back of a what remains of a shirt that I had used the sleeves in another upcycle. And it's a poly cotton. It definitely was a little bit harder to tear, and the strings, you will have lots and lots of strings to deal with here. That's probably the most maddening part. So I'm cutting my strips 2 inches apart, and I'm not sure how many I need, so I'm just ripping plenty. And I did the same. Now here I'm using a vintage sheet. Was another one of the colors that I liked. It had a little bit of everything in it. And then I used a piece of brand new fabric I had, and I ripped off the factory edge first, because if you're making the same design that I'm making, you want to tear each piece. You don't want to cut it, and it will give it this real kind of wild frayed look, and that's the look I'm going after here. And so after cutting them off, you'll stick them underneath the edge, and you will sew. I stuck them under about 1/2 of an inch, and I'm just going to straight stitch them onto the machine. Now, I wasn't sure on the length that I wanted my little fabric strips. So what I did was I did 4, 1 of each color. And if you do the same thing that I did, just do 2 lighter bright and 2 dark, and just alternate, and that'll make them stand out. And so I sewed them on, the 4 that I wanted on, and what I did was I left them long, and so I could trim them to the right length. This way, you know, I didn't have ones that were too short and try to come back and make them longer. I didn't want to do that, and so I went ahead and sewed them on long, and then I gave it a haircut. See? Clipped it right off of there. And then I measured the length that I cut it, and then I made my strips after that. Now, if you know exactly the length that you're going to make yours, you can just skip that whole step and cut your strips. For me, it was 10 inches long. So now I'm just piling up a bunch of little strips that I'm going to sew on. And I think a fun thing to use for this would be a jelly roll of all kinds of different colors, and then just do brights, a lot of bright colors. And so now I'm sewing them all on 1/2 inch. I'm just doing one after another, and I'm going in a pattern of light, dark here, and I try to stay to the pattern. Of course, when you come to the end, it's not going to match up perfect, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. It will look good either way. I think as long as you do a light, dark. So now I have this, and I did come back and zigzag that hem after a little bit. So now what I want to do here, or what I did, was I ripped each one of my 2-inch pieces into 1-inch pieces. I went all the way around and did that. And then we're almost done here. I mean, it is a fun project. It doesn't take too long. It's almost harder to deal with the strings. So what I did was I cut them 18 inches long, and then I ripped each one in half to make 2 piles here that I'm going to tie the shoulder seams with. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget about the Discord. The link is in the description below. And thank you so much. I love you all. And I hope you guys have a great day. And until next time, guys, happy sewing.